Welcome to the Fat Cats Rugby Podcast, bringing you candid rugby conversations, great interviews and insights into Ugandan rugby, and a touch of rugby in Africa and the world over. Fat Cats Rugby Podcast is a product of Fat Cats Media brand for all your audio-visual content needs and equipment hire. Hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to another episode of the Fat Cats Rugby Podcast. Another opportunity for us to talk about a lot of rugby and to really get to dive into so many of the things. My name is Ruben Kihumuro and another little of cats, plus a very talented lady with us. Edwin, I'll start with you. How are you?
I'm good. Sun could be less hot, but good to be here again.
That's good. With us, I could say, is the premier fan of Uganda rugby, Eddie Chiwanuka. How are you feeling today?
I'm all right. And
Excited
I'm good.
about the weekend?
I'm so excited about the weekend. Whatever comes in, we'll go with it.
Okay. Keith Seruyange, the man of the brand Jameson the Wheel. I've even seen T-shirts made about you, man. I want to be like you when I grow up. How are you feeling?
Okay. It's good to be here. Good to talk about it.
Yeah. Are you retired or not retired? We're not sure. We saw a bit of cameos this season.
That's still pending. I'll talk to my agent.
I have a feeling you're going to pass the agent card. I had a feeling I was going to play the agent card.
I can't disclose anything at the moment.
Yeah. And saving the best for last, Helen Buteme Koyokoyo. I always, when I reach you, I want you to introduce all your titles and your responsibilities because I don't want to get them wrong.
No, they're not many.
There are quite many. Let's start listing them.
No, don't put me on the spot.
Anyway, guys, I think let's just jump right into it. Victoria Cup. I think we were supposed to have a whole different conversation before this podcast. But early this morning, there was an article going around and a lot of communication going around that Zimbabwe possibly is sending their under 20 side and possibly will be arriving tomorrow midnight. So let me start with you, Helen. What are your thoughts on this? Because we're having an issue of late communication yet again, and then we are having an issue now of having to field our senior side against what's an under 20 side. Zimbabwe further clarifying that they are not playing their under 20s as the Sabres. They are playing them as the under 20.
Yeah, there are two things here. The first is if URU was aware that Zimbabwe was sending an under 20 side, and if they were, then they should have also fielded a Uganda under 20 side, and it should have been made clear to everyone that it would be an under 20 competition. But the way it seems URU were unaware. They assumed it was a full-strength Zimbabwe side coming. And as far as we know, it will be a full-strength Uganda side playing a Zimbabwe under 20. For Zimbabwe, it makes sense because of their under 20 side is going to Canada, where they're going to play in a World Rugby Sanction tournament. So they're basically using this as a build-up for their players. But I think if they didn't communicate prior, they've been dishonest. And I think a lot better needs to be done when it comes to communication. So unfortunately, URU does have a trend of not being transparent and of poor communication. So it's hard to take their side. This could just be URU being URU, or maybe Zimbabwe played them. So I don't know what to think, but it doesn't sit right with me that we're fielding a full strength side against the Zimbabwe under 20 side.
Okay, that's very interesting. Just throwing this on the table. Now that we know that we have under 20s coming, what should we do? Is there anything reactionary we can do, Edwin? Maybe is this the chance for Fred Mudola to really trust some of his younger guys? Because I think it's too rush for us to want to use our under 20 because I don't think they're prepared well. But don't you think we should also be having the same mindset that okay, we're now also working 4 years. We're walking into 4 years, we're looking 4 years ahead. Shouldn't we also think about younger guys and maybe just keep the older guys within the squad for mentorship, but really focus and emphasize on the younger ones?
I think two things come into play here. Was the union played? That's number one. Or two, did they actually know and just kept it to themselves until the last day? Why? I think the team sheet that is going to come out either tomorrow or on Saturday is very key to show you if the union actually knew. If they play our key players who were expected to play against the main Zim team, the Sables, you would understand that maybe the union was played. And if as an advisor, I would tell them play the main team. Why? Because if you play the main team, you're kind of brushing it off your shoulder, saying, we are played. You don't need to make it official. Make it backdoor chat that, man, we are played also, we're shocked. But anyway, things have to be done. That's one. The other side, if they actually knew about it, I mean, it's very bad. It's continuously piling on onto these, I wouldn't say they are grave issues, but it continuously, you had the discussion we had last week about sponsors and whatever, and then, I mean, how will that affect ticket sales? Do we know if people here is under 20, they'll be like, let's not show up. You understand? Maybe we'll show up for the after party, but not the actual game, you see. So there is that aspect. Will guys want to just sit home and watch the Commonwealth the whole weekend? I mean, those are questions we should be asking right now. Because now it puts the union in bad light, and all the union needs to do is, they always thrive in keeping quiet, so they'll just have to play it that way.
Well, one of the jokes that has been going around is before the game starts, people are planning to maybe send one or two people to see if there's actually kickoff. Then from there, you can be able to decide to pay for a ticket. Yeah. But anyway, just bringing Keith into this conversation. Keith, why do you think Uganda has put itself in such a position where, first of all, there are late communications, and then we're having disappointments from Kenya bailing out just days to the game to now Zimbabwe deciding to give us their under 20? Have we lost value? What's happening to Uganda rugby, especially on the test level?
I think at the moment, I think Zimbabwe is doing what Kenya did a few years ago. There's that side they sent for Elgon Cup, where we saw like a completely new team coming to play Uganda. It shows that they don't value us, they don't look at us as competition anymore. I'm sorry to say. And then makes sense, like from what you would think, they would think that it didn't make sense to keep playing these guys for good, obviously beat them. Like even the bragging rights aren't there anymore. So it comes down to us, what are we doing to make ourselves worthy of being competition? Because you heard of that meeting, I don't know if it was true, Kenya, Namibia, South African teams, and what not making a league of their own. Where weren't we included? That means we look like we're in the same league as Tanzania or Rwanda, I think.
We're number 5, I think, ranked in Africa.
Yes, but you see the rankings, we got there over time. So it's such a reflection of what we have been doing in the recent years. And even if this team leaves, what structures do we have to bring in the next squad? So like nothing will happen like out of we have to see that as a nation, like as a union or as players, I don't know. It's all about sitting down. You see what have other guys done? Because even this team that is coming, the under 20 team, can any of you say for sure that we'll beat them?
That's the thing. That's what I think I was having this conversation with Helen. Like, there's also that possibility that they're going to bring their under 20, and it might shock our senior team, not to be a carrier of negativity, but what if that happens? Doesn't that throw us into more chaos, and especially the URU and the structures or the systems that we have in place?
The way I look at it, we don't have systems, we don't have structures. We are very short-term based, and we like quick fixes, and we don't look at the future. I've said it before. I said it in a Twitter space. I've put it on Twitter. I've talked to people about this. Ugandans are excellent about talking about stuff in bars, but it never moves on. But this is stuff I've said over and over and over again.
Do you say
teams start preparing for World Cups 10 years in advance? Yeah. Kenya started almost 10 years ago. I don't know if some of you know Hamosando, and you saw his young son, Malcolm.
Yeah.
You know, he ended up playing for Kenya under 20, and now he's one of the key players in the Kenya national team. Yeah. We had players who used to rub Malcolm on the head when he'd move around with Hamosando, and they're meeting him on pitch now, or they're not even good enough to make it to the squad. We don't have plans, you know. Zimbabwe also started planning about 5 years ago. So what they're doing is following up on that plan. And one thing is Ugandans want to win now without putting in actually any work into it. Let's accept to lose. Let us start building this team now. Actually, I said it when our players lost to Kenya in France. I said we should start building for the next World Cup. Not the next World Cup coming, but the next 2 cycles, you know. So basically, we give ourselves 10 years to prepare. And we start with under-20s, genuine under-20s, not short 25-year-olds who we bring in to play for the under-20 team. It doesn't help us. It's never helped us. Has it helped us now?
No.
Because we get these adults playing under-20 rugby, they shine. When it comes to playing against senior players their level, they fail to shine. Why? They're not prepared to, mentally and physically. So we just need to put plans in place. Let's agree. We're going to lose for the next couple of years. Something I've said is we need to now focus on building the countries around us. You know, let's get Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan playing. Field them against our under-20s. It could even be our under-18s, you know, development sides. We make them stronger. As they start building and beating our junior sides, we start fielding stronger sides. Until now, they can play us at test level. We have the Rugby Africa games, which it's guaranteed Uganda will play every year. Those will be our real games for our senior team. But let's also, because now when we play against teams like Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, not only do we develop them, we also give our under-20s and our junior teams game time and opportunities to play. We have these young players who have a reason to fight for a number on the team. You know, instead of them thinking, okay, I need to play for Uganda. No, let them think of playing for the under-20 team. Too many times we have players jumping from school rugby direct to the first team of Cobs, Hedons, Pirates. That doesn't make sense. 1 or 2 exceptional players is fine, but when you've got 5 or 6 players jumping straight into a first team side, there's definitely a problem with the structures. Why is it happening? There needs to be a gradual progression. So it usually starts playing development sides, you know, reserve sides, or playing in the championship leagues. Then you move on to play for the senior side. I mean, how can somebody be just leaving S6 and he says, I have to play for Cobs? If I'm not playing for Cobs, okay, let me go and play for Rhino. So I'm playing in the Super 10. What nonsense is that? You've just left school. You're not that good. Get over yourself.
Well, that's very, very interesting. But before I bring Eddie into the conversation, she talked about not bringing short 25-year-olds to play as under 20, which reminded me of Alex Muguru, who has said 2 things. Yeah. A short man is not a boy. And also that a small snake is still a snake. So, yeah. But I think she really mentioned some really, really valid points. And also something that we talked about on the previous podcast, the fact that we have people jumping straight from high school into the Super 10, that's just not right. And then some of them jumping straight into our national team setups. These boys have been playing high school rugby. Now you want to bring them up to test level. And also it also brought about something that I mentioned, that we find ourselves in a position where we threw so many debutants against Kenya in a quarterfinal in a Rugby Africa game. That was not fair to them at all. And some players also coming back from injury, and then we gave them almost a full 80 minutes. But anyway.
If I can just say something.
Yeah.
On that thing of guys going straight to the league and everything, I think that's it's important for us to develop the university league.
Yes.
If like out of school, true, you have an aspiration to play for Spain university, even your academics will be much better because you're fighting to be part of that organization of the school.
Yes.
Even scholarships make much more sense.
It
is a much more developed university league.
Yeah.
Like it's every successful sport usually has something like that. Like the NBA has that varsity league.
Yes.
That brings amazing players out of it. And whoever they want to continue with rugby will at least give you those few years while he's in university, then he can retire. And that's where you can pick the under 20s and everything. But if everyone is entitled to this one did it, I have to do it. Trust me, it's not all that's playing at that young age, that early. I can join in Cobs, my versus joining the 7th team. But 7th team, that whole time you feel out of place because especially if you're older people and you're much younger, and you've just joined like straight away. But now if you've gone through something with most of these guys, like you have been playing together at a different level, even if you're opponents, but in the same league as you progress, it's much more different. The brotherhood is very different. So that you realize that different generations will have their teams as you build on that.
Yeah, but I also think universities give us the opportunity to even spread the game. We have universities across the country, and the challenge we're having, the game is so central, and just a little bit of touches off out of Kampala. But we need the game to be as popular as, let's say, football. It could be a very, very good opportunity. But anyway, Eddie, you've been a bit quiet, so I'm going to bring you into this. From a fan's perspective, how do you think, let's say, today's news is impacting? Because from knowing that we're playing the Zimbabwe Sables, now we're going to play the under-20 side, is that in any way demoralizing the way that fans are seeing this, and maybe ticket sales? And also, what does that mean that we keep having abrupt communications towards game time for our sponsors, for people that want to partner with us, and for the fans in general? How do you feel about that?
Looking at what is happening now this morning, it shows you clearly that we lack a proper PR person or company for the URIU. Okay, first of all, for so many years, we've never missed the Elgon Cup. So people were somehow hurt. So many fans were hurt because it is something we look up to every year, saying we are going to, at least let's have the Elgon Cup. Fans that cannot travel, fans that cannot go to, let me say, South Africa, France, or UK. Now, after missing the Elgon Cup, there should have been a proper PR to put people's minds at ease a little bit.
Yeah.
People have psyched up for Victoria Cup. Now, this morning, we're going to play under 20. Immediately, the PR person would have come up saying, by now it would be circulating over all socials that we didn't know about this, blah, blah. But again, all in all, let's play because we've been lacking a big rugby game this year and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's a very valid point.
But now, look at what is happening now, and nobody's there to soothe the people's hearts. Like, now we don't have Elgon Cup. We've missed Elgon Cup. They've cancelled. Now we have Zimbabwe quick fix. But now it's saying under 20. Me, I always have that theory. Okay, it is under 20, but it's Zimbabwe. So let them come. So go to Bakube. Because it will be Uganda won, beat Zimbabwe or something of the sort. And then the under 20 stuff will come in. But you need a proper PR person to do that.
Like
move around. Because
communication has always been the biggest problem.
Yes. Now, lack of communication brings about problems with so many sponsors around. Now, the guys it's one of the biggest events the sponsors looking at, honestly, and everybody knows that. Elgon Cup is one of the biggest events in the year that sponsors look at. It is not there, okay, now we're going to play the Victoria Cup. Now we're playing under 20. And nobody's coming out there to say, making an unofficial statement immediately, and make sure the news is not circulating around. And you know how you can do it on social media and stuff. But now it is everywhere. By the time you come in the evening, knowing that Zim is coming in on Friday midnight. No, it's coming Saturday morning.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking me, when are they going to do the captain's run?
Exactly. I was also wondering. But that I think it just shows how much they don't even value this. Because you can't send your team to reach, let's say, that night,
and they're playing at 4.
Just go and play. Like,
which means,
regardless.
Which means they might even leave midnight. Yeah. And go back.
Ice bath and then they're on the plane.
And for us, the fans, we always want to see the players coming in early. And then my beautiful angels, you look at the boys, the bodies, and the Protega, and then you wait for the after party. Yeah, all those things.
Yeah, definitely. And usually some teams actually join in for the after party.
They always join in, and then it brings about that bonding of the players that have played during the day, and then the fans. You get to know the fans more. What do they do? How do they move around? And show them places. Take them to King's Park. And play a fool, but take So those are the things that, and then you create that relationship, create friends, and then by the time we start going to Zimbabwe, you know, I have another arigi somewhere there in Zimbabwe. We can sit and plan for the funds and stuff like that. But now, as you see all this, it's all about lack of proper communication. Simple things. Let's get a proper company. Pay them. Get Ruben here. Line up the boys. Pitch into social media whenever you say, and then you'll never see the under 20 again. Here, we win, and that's how it's working of late. Because right now I'm a little bit scared about people. We are pushing, and I would say I need to see people at legends supporting our boys. Okay, but at times you get at a moment and say, how am I going to do this? You need that communication, you need that here and then, and get things going.
Yeah, well, I think that those are very, very good points that you really put out, because a lot of people are invested, but I still think we should go out to support the boys regardless of who's coming. Competition is still competition, and it's still going to be a big bonanza come Saturday. But before we go any further, I just give a shout out to our venue sponsors, Fred and Winnie B&B, located in Kisasi, which is a homestay featuring 10 self-contained private rooms consisting of 2 deluxe doubles, 3 standard doubles, 1 deluxe twin, and 2 standard twin bedrooms. The units come with a fully equipped kitchen, power backup system, Wi-Fi, laundry services, and a chef to cater to your every meal. Guests at Fred and Winnie B&B enjoy a sumptuous buffet breakfast with a choice of selected tropical fruits and juices. Pickups and drop-offs to and from Entebbe International Airport, as well as local transportation for getting around or for up-country trips, can be arranged if booked in advance. For you to get in touch with them, you should call the number 0752 693369 and tell them that a fat cat sent you for amazing offers. So exit Helen and in comes Bruno. Bruno, how are you?
I'm good, man.
How's your week been ever since the last podcast?
My week has been good, pushing on. Then the excitement of the 15th rugby game after a while, and then some shocking news this morning.
Let's start from there. What are your thoughts about the shocking news? Zimbabwe, we are playing under 20. We're not playing the Sabres.
The most shocking is I'm shocked that we didn't know it was the under 20 coming up, and I don't know if the union is as shocked as we are, or maybe it chose to keep it private. I mean, very shocking, man, and we have nothing to do about it. But as a team, we have to face it. I still think we should bring up that national first team of ours, the main team that we thought would play the main Zim game, face them, win it, get that out of the way, move on to the next. I mean, we need more test games, and this will be a wake-up call as well to us, the fraternity and the union especially, on planning and communication. We have to plan our games in advance, not these last-minute shocking news of different sides. And also, I mean, we need those main national teams, man. We need to play Namibia, we need to play Zimbabwe, and also not forgetting our regional members, because I still have a feeling our game will not grow if we don't involve our regional member countries.
Yeah, I think this year has dealt us a lot of reality checks, honestly speaking. And one of the things you've mentioned is communication with our union. We find that even when there are some of the things like, let's say, Kenya's cancellation, and now Zimbabwe bringing in its under 20 instead of the Sabres, and they don't come forth to control the narrative. Things, even the news we got today came from Grapevine and an article that was shared by fans. What are your thoughts about that, guys, and what do you think needs to be done? Are we low on the value table that these teams will choose to treat us as they want, or these countries will choose to treat us as they want, and what should we do going forward?
Personally, I think we should invest more into a PR team for the Uganda Rugby Union. They should invest more and more and more into it, because at the end of the day, through the PR, that's when we get more fans to join the game. That's when we attract more sponsors into our game. And then if it's not right, just know we are not going anywhere. Because right now, if you got it from another link from a fan. By now, or by evening, or by afternoon, same day, Uganda Rugby Union PR team would be out there telling the fans what happened. They didn't know, or they knew about it and they kept quiet, or they tried to play around the PR. But if they cannot, you leave so many questions in two people's heads. But regardless, since Uganda is Uganda, we are waiting for Zim, and I would tell every fan to come out and support. Let's be behind our team. Let's support. We don't care whether it is the under 23, under 20, even if they bring the under 16. Then we'll go back and talk about that later. Yeah. But again, it gives us, after missing the Elgon Cup, everybody was saying, okay, katugumire wano ku Victoria Cup. But again, if we cannot get that, then maybe there is a problem somewhere that needs to be fixed as well. But moving forward, Uganda is Uganda. At the end of the day, it will be Uganda, Hamad, Zimbabwe. So let's be around and support the team. But again, they need to look into their PR team.
Yeah, definitely. So many issues and so many things. We need to go back to the drawing board. But for now, the artworks that are all going out from Nile Special and everyone are saying that Uganda is playing Zimbabwe. For us, we don't want to know about all those under 20 things. So just trying to dive into that fixture on Saturday. Edwin, anything you have to share about that in particular?
Yeah, we have played. We last played Zimbabwe in 2019. We came short in that game at Legends. It has been a debate on the TL who scored the first try, who passed the ball for the first try, but I think that was settled. We lost that game, and we have 12 players from the 2019 team who are still going to play with the current team at the moment. In that game, we had 4 players who made their debut. That is Kelvin Balagade, Faraji Odugo, and Ivan Kabagambe. 4 players from that squad are now fixtures in the sevens. That is Casito, that is Aaron Oforioth, Kelvin Balagade, and Philip Okorach. So we have a squad that has been consistently built from the days of the late Robert Seguya, and maybe one of the key omissions that who played in that game and will not feature. We don't know his future in rugby, but is the line-out prowess of Simon Diego Letts. So one of the players we very much miss on the field, but that is a few of the stat sheet of the games against Zimbabwe. Perhaps I'll just add that when we had the discussion about structures and teams, players jumping from team to team, that is from schools league to club and national team, we had formidable Justin Chimono made his debut against Zimbabwe, I think 2011, and put up a solid show. Scored 2 tries on debut, so if anything is to go by, we hope anyone who is making his debut on Ugandan soil can replicate the same, and the big hits sent the guy to the ambulance. So we hope any debutant on Saturday on Ugandan soil will be able to put up a show and make himself proud in the jersey.
Talking about the 2019 Zim game at Legends, there was a remarkable moment when my brother Asuman was
Oh yes, I remember.
omusajja yamukuba neŋŋamba omwana tafiira mu
It
kisaawe.
was in the first 30 seconds of the game.
So this is because if he's going to play,
Revenge.
this is the time for Asuman to revenge.
Yes.
Omwana yakuba Asuman and I said, do you have Asuman's parents or guardian's number so that we can call them program manager? Just joking, anyway. But it was a moment, and I believe you me, some of the guys have the clip and they can still bring it out. They can still bring it out. I know Ruben has it somewhere. When I remember about the 2019, and I look at Asuman, I say, my lord.
Those moments are bittersweet for some of us who have played the game. It's funny to see people like Asuman being also. I remember I have a vivid memory.
Yes.
When I was playing for my then team Warriors, I was at 10 fly half, and he broke off a scrum. I don't know what he was doing at 8. He's usually a prop, and he floored my number 8 who had come to protect me. I don't know if it was you, Edwin, but all I know is
shows he scored
put him in the air, slammed him. So I wonder what goes through the minds of his teammates when they know Ono Kanyama were fake and
my friend,
squeezing your Kanyama.
After Asuman going down, we had like 10 minutes. The players were shocked a little bit, but they had to play again.
But for water break.
And the Sebo was so particular about us. He went for Asuman, and he was looking for. He got the ball. He went past Sujuan, and he went straight to Asuman. Banange, I'll never forget that day. But this is our time to revenge as well.
Yeah, revenge.
If they've brought under 23, Naya Kwateo 1,
I'm coming.
Down. And then you'll ask him about Dolagawa. Anyway, it was a moment. But all in all, those are the things we build onto. And then rugby is all about hits, stools, and those tries. Those are the moments we look at and say, the way you talked about Kimono,
yes.
You took somebody to the ambulance.
Yes.
For us, the fans, we are there. Ask him about them.
Do you guys think that rugby fans are a bit addicted to violence or something?
No.
What I'm saying is this week.
I'll give you an example. It is all about rugby. That's how rugby is. You see when Impis is playing some other team, you'll see them losing. But once a guy gets another and gives him properly, you might think Impis is leading or something of a sort. But those are the moments you look up to as fans. As fans. But again, all in all, regardless of under 23, whatever it is, we are going to beat Zim. So that's why I want people to come in.
And the fans have to come.
Yes.
We need big numbers.
Yes, but another thing. Yes, in big numbers.
We need to beat Zim comfortably.
What margin? What margin did you talk about? 80.
We leave no doubt. So what if they are bringing under 23?
The problem, it could be 80-79. So
I want to specify double figure margin.
And again, it is a test to our players.
Yeah.
If they cannot match the under 23, then we will come back to this same podcast and we'll grill them. Because again, at the end of the day, it is all about our players, our coaches, and stuff like that. But when you look at what is happening right now, it is all about giving time to the 15th coach to build up his team, because the 7th coach has been doing it since 2011. And you can see the boys are all in shape. They've been together, they know each other, and it's something that we need. Yes, and discipline as well. The 15th.
Let's just delve on that now. That we have been in a position, or we are in a country and following a sport where we have two courts that are contrasting, I should say. From a 15th that has so much negative PR coming out, so many things, some from the grapevine, some from the bar, as most of our information comes in. And then we have a 7th team that looks to be like the epitome of perfection.
Yes.
How is it that these two groups are under the same management? What's the difference? Why can't we copy that template and put it to the 15s as well?
Because first of all, you have there's a level of discipline. it is enforced in the 7th side. But now with a change of coach every other year, you'll see it with like United.
Yeah.
If they bring Ralph in, they bring some person, but when they bring in a fixed manager, everyone's playing with a lot of discipline, with a lot of like you're eager to please the coach. And we also need to add the thing of merit.
Yeah.
Toba, the 7th team, we never put anyone on that team. Was it really earned that spot?
Yeah.
But if we reach a point whereby the 15th team, look at the team, even if a person isn't trained, in your head you think this person must be there.
Yeah.
That's not how our team works. Let everyone go into training knowing that if I don't bring my absolute best, I'm not making this team. Not even the bench. I'm not going to make this team at all. So we need to hold the 15th team to the standard hold the 7th team.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
And we also have to keep growing it. You see how 7s, all over the country, we're going to go and have a circuit. They'll even have their own tournaments in an area. If we switch that to 15s, when was the last time anyone played in Gulu? A 15s game in Gulu?
High school.
I see.
Have we played a 15s game in Soroti in a long time?
No.
Kabale. But you
Arua.
Kabale 7s every other time. In the North, Lira 7s, Gulu 7s. So you see, like, you can see like 7s from the grassroots. There's something everyone's looking towards. If I was a young player, like with the attributes I had at the time, when I was there would be that urge to work hard to be on that 7th team. Like, it would be a goal.
Right.
Like, probably they're achieving, probably they are paid. I hear guys get paid now. Yeah, so, like, and even just the prestige of being on the team that is winning.
You see the PR I've been talking about, that would be out there.
Like,
that the 7th players are playing.
Whatever it took, dropping alcohol will be easy.
Yeah.
Because you know, like, there's something you're working towards. And as a sportsman, if you have that goal, the sky is the limit. Assuming everyone understand.
Yeah. I always have a bone to pick with the players who normally don't respect their training. You see a player has been working hard for a tournament like this one, for a game like this one. After the training, gets back, and then you see him drinking heavily, and you ask yourself, now is he going to play, or is trying to show us that he can play and then become a fan? Let the drinking be for the fans. But it is so demoralizing, because at the end of the day, if you know your player, you are selected for the national duty, why do you drink heavily like that? And there are players that we know that drink. That means, for us the fans, will get back to the coach, because they know it. I remember the late Sogi's days. You used to call the fans, different fans. What do you think about Ruben? What do you think about Kevin? What do you think about the other one? And you tell him that was an honest opinion. I think this one is better. This one is dropping balls. This one is not good in a line out. This one, and then he'll go back. He notes down, and then he compares all the notes. Say, they've told me you are drinking. I even had a line saying, if you see any player drinking, just text me. Okay? That's where we are going to. Because every player who is not serious has to be accounted. Like you have to account why are you not fit? You've been training with your friends. Why are you not fit? Because you drink. Okay? You work out properly and then you go back and drink. Drinking is not that bad, but again, you reserve yourself for the drinking. And then it is really a sad moment when you see somebody, you saw him drinking 2 days to a big tournament, and then you see him dropping the ball. He's got a very bad hit, and he's taken to the ambulance. And you know Uganda katipombe sio supu mambo kubwa, and you know the reason. But now my bone to pick with the coaches will be when they know those players and they insist to use them at the cost of other players who don't drink, who are disciplined, who go to gym, who go and work out and go. And then you see, because at the end of the day they will say, during Ruben's time as a coach, you lost to the under 23, you lost to the under 16. It goes back to your name. Under 14. So you need to be the coaches, the coaching team, the coaching staff they need to be a little bit serious about the players. Let's follow up. And then the players, just for few months, leave the alcohol. Take a one or two. Take a one or two. Then you see somebody taking a crate. No, come on now. If you're taking a crate, what are the fans going to do today?
They are supporting Niles.
We do. I don't. That one is okay. That one. But they always say, drink responsibly.
Yes. Yeah.
Drink responsibly. Are you being responsible?
Yeah.
Drinking is okay. Let the fans drink. For us, we drink and then we give you the medicine at the line. So it goes back again to the officials. If you're not going to control that and you expect us to give you some sweet words at the touchline, forget about it, because we are very near there and we know where to hit very hard.
I can see something to that also.
Yes.
You see, yes, you have said coaches, to police and everything. But also as an athlete, it's unfair to the person you're playing ahead of, unfair to the fans. Because at times you're selected, you have a choice to come on it. But then you choose to be a part of the structure.
Yes.
Personal discipline.
Personal discipline
It's
as
very
well.
important. No one is going to chase you like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Half the people are above, everyone is above 21.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some even reach 30s and everything.
Yeah.
So why was the coach chasing around 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds to make sure they don't do these things? You should know, because even during training, you will feel that effect. You have to work twice as hard. But now if you work twice as hard without the alcohol, how much better will you be? So as the players themselves,
We want to see
put in their discipline themselves.
that scenario where the coach comes out and said, "I've dropped Edward because of discipline issues."
Yeah.
A superstar, when a superstar is dropped, okay, he will be an example to these other youngsters to say, if they can drop John, no one is safe.
Yeah, I think it's time we really focus on trying to remove those rotten eggs and keep the system pure. There is a lot that the 15s can learn from the 7s team. As we are ushering away from the Zimbabwe conversation, maybe just Eddie, to ask you as Uganda's top leader in the fans, or the top cheerleader, I should say, what impact does this have? The fact that we're playing under 20 and now that the fans know it's not the senior Sables, what impact does that have morale-wise with the fans? And also, how are you planning, or what do you want to tell people to assure them that, you know what, regardless, this is what we're going to do, and maybe also to enlighten them what is in stock at Legends on Saturday?
Our plan is simple. For us, we've been lacking some good rugby for some months.
Yeah.
You can see even like a simple 7s tournament, we go there, and you can see numbers.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what our sponsor is looking at, numbers. So we should come in big numbers, and we are not just waiting for Saturday. We are starting tomorrow or today, tomorrow, Friday. We will have our 7s. Some of us will be personally. I'll be at Chadondo Rugby Club at midday. And I'll be giving out some free drinks so that we watch our 7s. Yes, I will.
Free drinks for the fans.
For the fans.
For the fans.
For the fans, yes, for the fans. So that we watch our 7s, hype up, and then wait for. In fact, Friday is going to be action-packed. We start with our 7s game from midday, and then we see how the day goes. From there, we take it to basketball. Do the same, hype up, look up for other fans around there. And then from there, Saturday, same time, we will be at Chadonde again with some free drinks as well to hype up the fans. And then we will walk to Legends. You say under 20 what? Baja 2 leader. Then we walk into Legends and then we support our team. And after that, if they decide not to go back, we will give them the real party. Give them the real party. So tomorrow it's going to be like Kasiki. Okay? The rest we'll see them after the game. CG they brought under 23, CG 18 after the game. So let us win. But if you don't win, what are you
winning? As we are living this conversation, speaking of winning, just in a few seconds, each of you, I want you to give me your predictions of Saturday's game, Uganda versus Zim. Starting with you, Keith.
Say 45-12.
Okay.
How did you get that figure? That was my prediction. But I'll go for 50-50. 50-15.
50-15. Wow.
I'll go for 60-24.
Wow.
Mine is 65-12. I think they will score penalties.
65-12.
Yeah.
Well, my prediction is 25-12 to Uganda. You guys are not saying which side.
No, for Uganda.
Come on.
It's obvious.
We're backing that.
So, regardless of everything, we wish the Rugby Cranes all the best, and the Fat Cats will be there to definitely support. Now, let's go into our final segment, have a conversation about what was being named on social media as the union's favorite child or the main child, and others are just the stepchildren, the Uganda Sevens, who will be in the Commonwealth Games, and their first game is tomorrow, I think, if I'm not mistaken, midday 50. That's 12:50. You can be able to watch it. So, what is your thoughts about that first game, and how important is it for the boys to win that first game? Keeping in mind that first game is against Kenya. Kenya, a team that decided to ditch us and cancel Elgon Cup. Kenya, a team that said we're not good enough. How important is this game for us as fans, or rugby in Uganda in general, and also for the boys starting that group very well?
This should come last, but I'll bring it first. I think the banter is very key. The fans need to tear themselves on the TL. I can't wait for that. It's a working day, but I'll throw in a few memes there, and I hope people can retweet and as we prepare. The game is very important. Why? Uganda put its foot forward against Kenya in Africa Cup Sevens, and we showed them that we have come a long way in learning, and now we can take you on in all the rounds in sevens. So it's now a question of, can Kenya redeem itself, and can Uganda cement the hard work they have put in from, as Keith said, from 2011. So it's a battle of pride, and then it's a battle of one showing that we're a consistent side. That's the key aspect of that game. Me personally, I don't think that tournament is really a big deal to me. I just want to see consistent play. What Africa Cup we did, if anything short of that, scores aside, my key focus is on the Challenger Series and the game against Germany. But nonetheless, the boys should go and know that we have their backs. We are supporting them all the way. And the key thing is just end that chatter of Kenya. Just put it under the car and tell them that take your tuk-tuk back home. We have beaten you both in swampy and dry conditions. You have nothing to say until the next time. So, Uganda all the way.
Oh, very interesting. Thoughts on that?
I think the only thing that would be tricky about that fixture is that it's the first game. I think everyone knows the first game in sevens is very tricky.
Yeah.
But ideally, if we come out with a very strong show in that first game, it will again even help us with the World Cup preparation.
Yeah.
If we know from the get-go, the boys are already set at 100%. It will help with the warm-ups and everything. They would know what the preparations to do before starting the tournament. So I'm rooting for the boys, because as usual, you see some Kenyans looking for grasshoppers. You know how much that is. But
Wow.
it's going to be important, because that first game, I hope that they'll be able to relieve. Let's hope that the heat wave is the same as the temperatures out here.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many excuses that the grounds were very soggy and wet, like as if they are very good pitches in Kenya. And they call it a banana plantation. So, Bruno, thoughts about the Commonwealth in general, the games, and then Uganda, our group? Because remember, after Kenya, we'll be playing Australia, which is a core side and one of the better sides. If I'm trying to be objective, we're a bit imbalanced in that kind of contest. But Kenya is a team we know now that we can beat. What are your thoughts on that, and how important is it to get that win so that we can be able to maybe get out of that group or possibly get out of that group?
I mean, these Commonwealth Games is not really a big deal to me, like Edwin said to him, but then this is a very, very nice test game tournament where for the main challengers, of which we also have to gain that core side. We need that win against Kenya for many reasons. One, we have to cement our base. We've beaten Kenya in the African Sevens. We are African champions. Let's do it all the way and go to the challenger side. Then also, Australia, that will be another hard test that we will need to the next tournaments that we will be having. Because either way, those are the teams that will be playing in the core side. So that win against Kenya, I mean, we still expect those runs, those steps by Philip, then the usual Casito tackles. And I'm excited to also see Alex. I mean, this is a guy who has joined in 2020 Jan, and he has not been selected he has not been on the selection team, the final team, but
I think
for the national team as the sevens, and he's a very disciplined. I mean, we talked about discipline earlier. He's a very disciplined guy, so we look up to what he puts up in the game.
Just add Pirates strong and we finish it.
You had to bring that, but
Alex Aturinda is the boy whose rugby has really come from far. Having seen him from the Walukuba days, joining the Pirates rank, and then how his confidence and his abilities have really grown over time. So, as we also come to close this seventh bit of it, you talked about the fans' party starting from tomorrow. The whole bonanza, and then going into the Saturday, which will be having 7s and 15s as well. So there's quite a lot of rugby for the fans to enjoy.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? The boys shared with us some pictures on social media, looking real dapper. Some of us were trying not to show our girlfriends the pictures. You never know. They may send you a text that, you know what, this is not working out.
It's not working out.
My friend, I looked at the boys. I looked at the Blazers and said, are they going to go with them at home or Babazileka Kuyudia? Anyway, we as the fans, we are looking at that Uganda-Kenya game.
Yeah.
Regardless of anything, that is when we are going to stand up tall and say we are the Lions now of East Africa in the sevens. Because first of all, we are the Africa champions, and it is our time to prove it. Any day, any time, Uganda, Kenya, it will always be fire. We don't care. We missed the Elgon Cup. Now you are talking about the under 23. These boys are going to do it. So it's going to be a big game. Like I said, tomorrow it's going to be Kasiki. So me personally, I'll stop working at 11. Wow. I want my boss to know. I want my boss to know at the workshop that I'll stop working at 11.
Okay. Please find attached my schedule for Friday and Saturday.
They all know with rugby. They all know that if you are looking for Edward on a rugby day, is there. You can't. Even the clients know that. Him is a rugby fan, and you have to bear with that. But let us be there. Let's support the boys, and I know they're good. One question about the squad that is going to play, the Kenyan squad. Have they changed some of the players, or it's still the same squad that came here?
I think William Baka is on the addition.
William Baka.
What I'm sure about, it's not under 20.
No,
That's what I was going to say. I wish they would bring Kenya Morans for us. Why don't they also do that?
They can't risk anymore.
If the team we played in the Africa Sevens is the one that we're going to play in Birmingham, and it is hot, it is clear.
I hope it rains.
I don't want it to rain. I want it to be dry, sunny, katutegere past chechi. These guys are going to die. The boys are so organized, and after the Kenya game, it is enough to give Australia a rough time.
Yeah.
Because our boys is all about once they believe in themselves, the rest is history. Here, you saw what they did.
Also, beating Kenya can instill a bit of fear to some of the teams.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kenya is a core side as well.
Yes.
When we get into beating Australia, we have to make sure when we're beating Kenya, it's not we will beat them,
we are beating them.
We beat them,
We move on.
Let's say now, beating Australia, we can get to that point.
Yeah, but anyway, I think we all are. I can just feel the confidence we have in that team, and we wish them all the best. And as now we are moving on to the last bit, I have one more question for you guys. We are always looking to be more inclusive. Rugby has been known a little bit as elitist, that it is for a group of people. But for this game to grow, it should be all involving, all welcoming. What do you think we need to do to be able to encourage more fans to come into the game? And also, how can fans play a role in developing this game? I'll start with you.
First of all, okay. It goes back to the clubs. Every person here has his own club.
Yeah.
We must recruit funds from from our own clubs. Put their incentives. Give them the vibe. I will not say I'm bragging, but the way we recruit funds in Heathens is very different. Like you bring them, give them the party. That's why we even started moving with an official DJ, rugby DJ, because he knows what the fans want. Now, you come your first day to watch rugby. If you don't understand the game, we will make sure you understand the ball. Now it is another reason for you to come back and watch a game. Now you've understood the bottle. Now start understanding the game.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many. I've recruited so many fans and other fellow fans. But it is very simple. Bring them on, give them that love, pay for their entrance if there is entrance. That's why when I get tickets, I make sure I bring somebody who has not watched rugby.
Yeah.
At least if you don't enjoy the bottle, you will enjoy the meat.
Yeah.
If you don't enjoy the meat, you look around and say, Mama wachi yakuwa. So you see, it's a reason, and somebody will tell you, why? Like it is easy.
It's a vibe.
Invite somebody. I'm going to pay for you, or ask for a free pass or something. Bring them around. After bringing Ruben will bring John, Joseph will bring Rita, and then you'll have the game growing. I can assure you. You already see girls around now.
Yeah.
Why? Because they know.
Short.
Yes, pum shot, and because it's simple. Let's go have fun. Together to take a muko, and the daddies come to buy the drinks. Why not? But again, it goes back not only to my club, but goes back to other clubs.
Yeah.
Maybe just to bring Bruno in.
Yes.
The Pirates party bus. How do you guys do it to bring in new fans?
I mean, like we said at the beginning, it comes back to club level and also creating a belonging.
Yeah, exactly.
Creating a culture within a club.
Yes.
That's when also that fan base that you grow from the club will go support the national team, and a slight support for their boys that are representing.
Yes.
I mean, I was shocked. It was our last game of the season. No, second last game of the season. The Pirates game against Hippos in Ginger. Ginger Hippos fans shut us down.
Thank you.
It was like a cultural troop. I mean, that was so strong. And imagine having that fan base to the national team.
Thank you.
From each club. You've seen a few of Monga's clubs when you go and play in Entebbe. They are so committed and loving the boys. I mean, create that belonging, create the PR, create the hype on physical on the games and also online on the social media platforms.
Yeah.
And like we've been begging. bring out the replicas, the merchandise.
Yes.
We need that.
Branding.
We need that. We want to shine as well in colors. I mean, you saw what happened at the Africa Champions at Toronto. It was so huge. Even the captains, even each player of any team, of any country can tell you, you guys, it was so massive.
It was massive.
It was a beautiful festival.
It was a turn up, despite the weather, despite the
One cared about
conditions.
the weather.
It was so massive, and create those. I mean, there's a lot we can do. There's a lot that each club can do. Those party buses, those get-togethers, and
definitely.
involve the fans also in the planning. And I mean, create that.
That is
Create
key.
those groups.
One thing that I think I really liked about what Pirates does is they even have a fans day where fans have some activities with, and they get to mix up with the players.
Exactly.
The players
Make
that you
it a
usually
sports day,
see
man.
they're on the pitch and you may be afraid to talk to. Is one that actually comes on that day is like, hey, what's up? How are you? What's your name?
Oh, that's
and then
really
they
good.
play so many games from board games to field games.
with the players.
And
With
it
the
was
players.
just something beautiful, a very
Oh, that's
beautiful
very good.
concept. But
That's
I think
very
it's
good.
very important for us to really package this thing as a lifestyle. Rugby is a lifestyle.
Yes,
Rugby
it is.
is not just what happens on the pitch, but what happens off the pitch, the friendships, the camaraderie, the connections. And I think that's very, very beautiful. But as we come to a close,
Just one thing
yeah.
I would add to in order of getting funds.
Yeah.
One of the long-term things that I think of would be to improve the schools league. And not just the traditional schools that you know.
Yeah.
Because you realize the biggest funders, people went to rugby playing schools who actually played rugby.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you can spread out rugby to more of those schools,
More schools and more universities.
Ojo does with his
Yeah, and,
academy.
yes,
So
yes.
like those kids are going to be rugby fans, whether they play or not.
Yes.
The people who watch them play, when you
Yes.
see them stepping one or two games,
Yes.
they'll keep wanting to see even better.
Yeah.
See, so if you keep, from a young age, if you have an interest in something, probably you understand the game, that's half the battle. Because when you
Yes.
bring a new fan,
Yes.
it's seeing what has happened. But there, when they're younger, they saw someone being stepped or stole or something, they got interested, learned the rules, and even if they don't continue, they'll always know the rules, and when they come to, they'll want to watch more and more. Because rugby is a very addictive game. Once you've learned,
Very.
even if you've not yet learned everything,
Yeah.
once you've learned the rules, it's even more addictive. That's why you'll see someone as old as Dexter trying to play touch.
Shout out to Dexter. Thank you for
It is-
being very old.
It is really, really addictive. And I can tell you, as you said, it is a lifestyle. Of late, I was not too much into basketball, but I've started going to watch basketball and support it. And when I get there, the first thing they notice, even the rugby fans are here now. Okay?
Yeah.
Before I knew it, in 30 minutes, we are singing. And people around us were singing as well. Okay? So that means those people will also want to come. If they have not been coming to rugby games, they will want to come and see what happens there. Last time we went to football now. Officially now I go with the football fans. Now, football is trying to borrow what we are doing in rugby to take it into football, because football they come, watch, go to their different bufundas and drink.
Yes.
No, the sponsor is saying we want people, hype them, be there. Go watch, come back, have a party. Now that's what we are building now. Because football again as well has so many fans, and it is a fan base that we can tap into and bring them. Now Saturday, there are so many football fans that are telling me, tukoze tutia, tuli tutia, waliwo ebyokunywa. Of course ebyokunywa bijja kubaawo. Now they are going to come. And now you're going to see a different vibe. Now what am I teaching them? How the sport goes, the discipline, how we behave. We don't do the same things we do in football. Now they're going to pick something out of rugby, take it back to football, and then before you know it, you'll start seeing so many football fans. They have one thing, Bambi binyuma. Bambi binyuma, but it is good.
The first game always gets you.
Yes.
The first game always gets you.
Because there's always that calm moment, I tell you.
Yeah.
There's always that calm moment when you bring in Ruben, and the next thing is water. And you give him a bottle, you'll be like, Tetusasula.
It's like as if
Yeah.
the more alcohol you drink, the more you start to enjoy it. I now get it.
And then after the
Really
game, it is a culture in rugby. People don't just go away. We sit, analyze, talk about it, and then before you know it, the game ended at 6, You are home at what?
Midnight.
Midnight. You go back at midnight.
Nange, curfew.
Curfew.
So anyway,
Hey.
yeah.
Wow.
You guys, what do you think? Thoughts? What are your thoughts on the new Uganda jersey?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
We just need it now physically. I mean, I saw they promised they put out a date, and
In August.
you saw how fans were excited. Bring that beautiful kit, man. Bring the replicas. We'll definitely buy.
I agree with Bruno. I actually want to now swap out my sevens.
Yeah.
Seems
I think
like the World Cup
it has
is coming,
served its
so
purpose.
maybe not for the next World Cup as well.
We were badly waiting for a
Edwin,
replica.
I saw you. Edwin, I saw you.
I want them to have
saying
my
that you
size.
want yours.
I want
And
my
then,
size.
someone said that you will get your size next year.
Next year, I can wait, but I need that jersey.
No, they always
I need
look.
it.
They always look out for big guys like.
big daddies.
Yes,
Daddies,
but one thing, one person. I don't know whether PJ will get his. own.
PJ.
But anyway, we are happy to have a replica.
Yeah.
And with the rugby fans, it is not all about the money. Bring something good.
Yeah.
We will buy.
Quality.
As long as it's good, we will buy it. Support the team and we go off and show. We go on and show off.
You guys are complaining about PJ. PJ has money.
No. It's not all about. It's not all about the money.
The size.
First,
He must have. He's supposed to buy two.
To get him a jersey his size for the next kit that comes.
you have to cater for
The measurements are already taken.
PJ is the star. He's the
You have to
star.
cater for the star. So Pirates needs him. So we'll find a way around it.
Yeah.
So we'll pick a leaf from Pirates, where they got theirs from. Ebabona. Even the bank was complaining about the. Just kidding.
So anyway, as we come to the end of this, just to let you guys know that you can go to our social media platforms. There are lots of tickets to win for the Victoria Cup on Saturday. However, rugby starts tomorrow. Uganda Sevens take on Kenya at 12:50 p.m. Then there will be another game around 12 or 1 p.m. there. We shall clarify on our pages. I think that will be against Australia. So just keep on Fat Cat's social media platforms. We'll give you all the updates, and then we shall also let you know where you can watch those games. But make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will not die if you subscribe. And also just follow us on social media. Let the banter keep going. It's going to be a rugby weekend, a rugby festival. And see you guys. Thank you for watching the Fat Cats Rugby Podcast.
Favorite sevens player?
In Uganda. Thanks for listening in. Share with us your thoughts from today's episode, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.